Students on scholarship pay full fees. Bulolo landowners want land dispute settled. And authorities to work together to combat alcohol abuse.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Seah.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Wednesday's news. Mount Hagen Technical College is charging Hacker students the same fees as self-sponsored students. Deputy School Principal Com Dai said the fee is refundable when the scholarship component for Hacker students reaches the school's bank account. However, students told EMTV News off camera that this issue has been going on for a while and students have never been given their refund.
The Deputy School Principal of Mount Hagen Technical College, Com Dai, says the school charges Hacker students the full fee because the government has failed to pay its component on time. Dai said the school year has already begun and operations must continue.
But sometimes there's always delay in paying this component, this Hacker's component. But for the first 6 months or maybe 4 months or even 8 months into the academic year, we need money to operate. So that's why we charge the students.
This year, the school is charging 4,288 kina for Hacker students who are living off campus and promised to refund the TESA's component of 1,394 kina for Titoya once the payment is delivered to the school. Students are required to pay 80% of the total fee to be able to register despite being under Hackers.
So once a student is decided to become a day student, that means the Hackers component is sort of forfeited. So these are the things. In other universities, the Hackers component, students are not refunded. It goes straight to book allowance and all sorts of allowances they absorb into these areas.
However, Hagen Tech students have told EMTV News off camera that past and present students have never received refunds, and this has been the practice over the years. They claim students' book allowances were never given to past students until last year when students went on strike, which prompted the school to give them their allowances. The government's TESA scholarship covers 75% of the total tuition fee with benefits that includes written airfares, meals, lodging and book allowance for students who have performed well academically. Meanwhile, continuing students have raised concerns on one type of meal diet served at the school mess, that is of rice, fish and cabbage. They are calling on the school to provide and substitute a balanced meal since the province is rich with vegetables. Vasanata Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Meanwhile, Deputy School Principal Com Dai has refuted the claims by students, saying the school does not hold back any monies owed to the students. He also said that Hacker students have the right to book allowances, which the school pays into the bank account of students.
We normally collect their account details and deposit the money into their accounts. And they have access to this money, and they go buy other the stationaries or the needs that items they needed for their studies, they do this.
The Bumayong Lutheran Secondary School in Leh aims for a positive academic year despite continuous law and order issues the school encounters almost every year. School Principal Sarah Tapo says the school is focused on producing a new Bumayong Lutheran Secondary School that would replace the old Bumayong Secondary. Tapo's comments follows a groundbreaking ceremony of a new learning facility funded by the national government at a cost of 200,000 kina.
Yesterday, the students of Bumayong Lutheran Secondary School witnessed the groundbreaking ceremony of the school's new learning facility. The development is funded by the national government through the National Planning Department at a cost of 200,000 kina. According to the school's principal, Sarah Tapo, who took over from the former principal, Saya Daniels, this year, says the upgrading of the school facility is part of the new Bumayong plan.
This project to cater for grade 11 and 12. So any students who meet the standard and meet the requirements. Not only Bumayong Lutheran Secondary, lower secondary, but they will also look at those that around the community, and they have met the standard in different schools that they attend, and meet the standard for grade 11 and 12. They will take them in to this school, and mostly the Lutheran community.
Bumayong Lutheran Secondary School has a population of over 1,000 students and is located outside of Leyte. It is one of the secondary schools that experiences law and order issues over the years, especially school fights. The secondary school currently has 16 buildings, including a boys' dormitory that was recently turned into a classroom.
Our team is standard, and we are looking for everything that will be performed by students, both students and teachers and workmen will have to change so that we have this project that is coming up. We give an encouragement to our students, and they see it for themselves, and they will know that we are changing and we are looking forward for a new Bumayong.
As part of the school's focus in creating a new Bumayong Secondary School, the school also did a handover and takeover ceremony of the school's principals and Board of Governing Council. Construction for the learning facility is expected to begin today. Julie Badui, OA, National EMTV News, Ley.
After more than 50 years of land battles, landowners from Bayune to the Bulolo cliffside in Marbe want this issue settled. Leaders from the 32 groups said they will not dispute the court's decision but will support the clan who's awarded ownership of the area. The land dispute, according to the leaders, has been one of the causes of social issues and fights in the area.
These people represent 32 landowner groups from the Bayun to Cliffside area in the Bulolo district. For years, the clans have been divided, fighting over ownership to the land.
Long time yet. Nami pla struggle hard. Mi pla amas clan long Bulolo district. Mi pla court long this gran. Since 1960.
Yawing Gisongtao is one of the few remaining elders who's seen the struggles over the land.
Mr. Blamak belum malu tuya. I'm
all been starting this court before here.
With businesses and services built in these areas, the tussle has been over the land and its benefits. They say this has been the cause of many fights and social issues. With the help from provincial liaison officers, they've decided to settle this dispute and will accept whatever decision is handed down by the courts. This, however, was delayed due to a lack of funds. They sought help from businesses established on the land, and one local business responded.
Thank you now.
The team will sit down. Nabami pla look through longol get this la files lo yupla assessment good. Nabami pla make him recommendation. Igo long land court magistrate lo hand him down decision.
Osat bami play with him. Court give me award him this ownership. Igo long osat one bedroom pla okada strappings. But you know got one pla appeal. You know got dispute. Long this court and is a long pla time to.
Lucy Kopana, National EMTV News, Ley.
You're watching National EMTV News. More of the day's stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Ley's Metropolitan Commander Chris Kunyanban says there's a lack of consultation between the provincial liquor licensing and police when issuing licenses to companies to trade. Kunyanban says it would be best to consult with other agencies on the impact of alcohol consumption. Police say they receive over 1,000 calls per month on alcohol-related problems.
A vast majority of complaints received by police are alcohol-related. Chief Superintendent Chris Kunyanban says he would like to see better consultation between the provincial liquor licensing, police and other stakeholders concerning alcohol production, sale and consumption in the city.
I understand it's a prerogative of the legal licensing to issue out license, but I think it's more appropriate that we have a consultation with other agencies which will in the line of our duties will come across alcohol-related issues, and that has not been done. I'm not blaming them, they have their own reasons, but I would like to see that we have consultation in between us and moving forward on the issue of alcohol, we should be doing a lot of harmonies. But for the last almost 2 years now, there's no consultation between the legal licensing and the police.
Last month, 7 communities in Lae raised their concerns on the widespread abuse of alcohol concerning the newly introduced alcohol brands, including One Bell and Trade Winds. Most women who spoke are victims of alcohol-related violence.
Man, lumi sa drink all the time.
The residents of Lae said the new alcohol beverages are being sold at cheap price and is mostly consumed by underage children and youth. The residents of Lae called on the government to ban the new alcohol brands or to review laws governing the production, sale and consumption of alcohol.
People like him, this drink here. Trade winds must stop. Government must stop him. People talk, government must stop him. Government must stop him. I'm stopping him, place by chance.
We found out that Morobe has only 3 people working for the Provincial Liquor Licensing Office in Lae. Their work is limited in Lae City and don't work for the 8 districts of Morobe. We also confirmed that there hasn't been any existing liquor licensing board in place since 2016. However, the office has still been approving liquor licenses for clubs, storekeeper and restaurants. The office couldn't provide records of revenue collected because the officer claimed that the computer system was out of order and they've moved office. Julie Badui, OA, National EMTV News, Lae.
Meanwhile, the Lae Metsup calls on the public to report nightclubs, restaurants and liquor shops that are seen operating beyond the legal trading hours. Chief Superintendent Chris Kunyanban says it is a breach of the Liquor Licensing Act and the business owners can be arrested and charged. The Metsup says information on such offences is vital.
Our Legal Licensing Act clearly specifies the trading hours, when to operate, when not to operate, and when they go beyond that, well, definitely you'll be breaching the laws, and yes, you'll be arrested and prosecuted for that. Like in most cases when we had incidents like this, they're not being reported to police. That is why we do not act. We only, you will see much of our policing, we rely on information coming in. Once information like this of people trading beyond license hours, then we will act onto it and we'll get people arrested and prosecuted for that offense.
Upgrading work on the existing runway at Madang Airport commences this week as of the 12th of February 2021 and will continue thereon. In advising the general and travelling public, the National Airports Corporation states it is in its first stage of works and will see a minor reduction in the existing runway length to allow for this works to commence and also airline operators to continue operations into and out of Madang.
Works on the Madang runway will include the construction of new shoulders, removing existing seal, pavement strengthening, associated strip and drainage works and the installation of new airfield lighting systems. The National Airport Corporation states that the anticipated works are at its first stage and at the succeeding stage to cover the full runway would take approximately 8 months to be fully completed and made available. However, this is subjected to the prevailing weather conditions in Madang province. Whilst NAC acknowledges and regrets the effect of this on the travelling public, it is deemed necessary at this present time to ensure and maintain safety and compliance at the Madang Airport. Understandably, it is also NAC's objective to ensure all 22 national airports in and around PNG are maintained and operated in compliance with the International Civil Aviation Organization recommendations and the Civil Aviation Safety Authority PNG rules and regulations. Meantime, NAC appeals for understanding and patience from the general public at and during this time to allow the contractor to continue and complete the required upgrade works on the runway. Annette Cora, National EMTV News.
The Central Provincial Government Assembly passed the 2021 provincial budget yesterday at the Provincial Headquarters Assembly Hall. During the readings of the bill, concerns were raised with regards to the previous budget. Nevertheless, the bill was successfully approved and passed by the Assembly.
This is the fourth consecutive budget that was passed under the leadership and governance of the Central Governor, Robert Agarabe. It is framed and consolidated under Agarabe's Mad Vision policy contained in the new Integrated Provincial Development Plan 2019 to 2022 and Corporate Plan 2020 to 2022, with the vision aimed for professional excellence, economic prosperity, and social justice for Central society. The budget's theme is synonymous to the 2021 National Budget, Consolidation for Growth, which is relevant to Central Province. The budget, which is formulated on an annual basis, was coordinated by the Provincial Budget Committee and was chaired by the Deputy Provincial Administrator Corporate Services with oversight from the Provincial Administrator. The 2021 provincial budget is summarized as follows. The total number of districts and LLGs received the biggest cut of over 44 million kina, followed by the PHQ receiving over 100 million kina. Further to the 2021 budget summary, teachers' salaries get a cut of a little over 60 million kina and total personal emolument get close to 80 million kina in the budget. During the budget debate, concerns such as the major rollover of the 78 million kina from the previous budget, disaster relief for the province, secondary schools, including maintenance of roads and bridges, were raised by the assembly members to the central governor. After much deliberation, the budget was passed. Now road to implementation begins. Gertrude Gabi, National EMTV News.
A Simbu provincial team led by the Simbu governor on a familiarization trip to Kokopo, East New Britain province concluded their trip over the weekend. They left satisfied not only because of the delicious totongor, but knowing more about the cocoa industry. The highlight of the trip was tasting chocolate made from cocoa grown in Simbu province.
The familiarization visit started on Thursday as soon as the Simbu delegation arrived in Kokopo. They were taken to Bitavava to see a solar dryer and were briefed about the PNG Agriculture Company. On Friday, with the arrival of Simbu Governor Michael Dua, the first Cocoa of Excellence Working Committee meeting commenced. The team was taken through the administrative part of hosting the event. It was back on the road after lunch to Navunaram village in the Gazelle district to see the launching of the use of stainless steel pipe to dry cocoa beans. In PNG, cocoa is dried well using the solar drying method. The process involves spreading the cocoa on a huge tray with a clear plastic roof and a pipe for building fire. Usually a mild steel pipe is used for making fire. However, in the long run, the pipe erodes quickly and causes smoke to leak, tainting the beans. The PNG Cocoa Board is now trialling the use of stainless steel pipes to see the difference or durability. Simbu Governor Michael Dua was given the opportunity to cut the ribbon for the new facility together with the East New Britain Governor. On Saturday, the delegation visited the nerve of the cocoa industry, the Research and Development Station at the Tavilo Cocoa Research Center. They were taken through the creation of hybrids and the cloning process and even visited the clones seedlings bank. The PNG Cocoa Board then surprised them with chocolate bar and chocolate drink made from cocoa grown in Simbu province, particularly the Karamui cocoa.
Mibla nidlo lanin plani samdin lo yubla so that mblegen lugotum cocoa blumbla gut. Lo side blow na side blow lugotum mulsid na silagain. So this year October by we having hosted show on top, so all come down na having meeting lo strategize na technical committee or boom, but look him governor and Bianimol na come down, I'm give him support na come down. So the very reason why Mibla give him so we go lo Simbu, because he got administrative and political support staff. Cocoa Board alone cannot do it. So we must work together, cooperate, share resources, capacities so that we can, do things together.
The delegation left satisfied that their ventures into cocoa farming are not wasted. They, however, requested more training for their farmers. Shamin Poriambeb, National EMTV News.
The price support program by the Marape Basel government has been praised by stakeholders who deal directly with farmers. The program not only has put more money into farmers' pockets, but has created a rippling economic effect in villages that have trialed the program.
The price support program, initiated by the Marape Basel government and implemented by the Department of Agriculture, has been highly praised. In East New Britain province, the first 4 weeks of trialling the program for cocoa saw the sale of 122 tons of wet beans. That is equivalent to 625 bags of dry beans in just a short period of time.
We've got 7 buying points. In 8 days, we have purchased over 122 tonne of wet bean and injected over 366,000 kina into those 7 communities in 8 buying days. Amazing. It is just, there is cocoa coming in from everywhere. It's an incredible sight to see. Farmers are being paid 3 kina a kilo. And we're slowly getting that into their bank accounts.
Brad Johnson, the CEO of the PNG Agriculture Company, said this is an amazing result which has never been seen before.
We buy on Tuesdays and Thursdays each week, and it is blowing us away, really. The price support program has stimulated unprecedented interest in cocoa since back before CPB incursion. Like, people are just saying, oh, we haven't seen anything like this since CPB came along.
With more wet beans sold, buyers like the PNG Agriculture Company must have large drying bays. With an existing partnership with the government, the company, which is 100% owned by cocoa farmers in East New Britain province, is utilizing fermentaries that were built by the government but not fully utilized.
We're sort of working with Tavalo. We've leased their facility up there, which has been a bit dormant for a while. It's now pretty much full. So we're getting better utilisation of government assets.
The price support program is also creating a rippling effect to the local economy. New businesses have sprung up.
This price support program has done a lot more than just put the money in the pockets of farmers. It's the trade stores that we work with are getting much more sales. Their products are diversifying. We've also seen little businesses established where people go out to the cocoa farms and hire their vehicles to pick up the cocoa.
CEO of Cocoa Board, Boto Gaupu, also acknowledges this government support to the agriculture sector, especially cocoa. He said for the first time, farmers are benefiting more for their hard work.
First time in the history of any government to really come down direct to the farmers.
Gaupu notes that exporters and buyers don't lose anything as the production volume increases and they're able to export more volume.
Exporters, they will have the benefit of getting the dry bean, will not in any way distort world market price or their prices with their buyers overseas. Benefit about this is that they will create volume for the exporters to sell.
The price support program for cocoa has been rolled out in East Sepik province and East New Britain province, the 2 largest exporters of cocoa in the country. Other cocoa growing provinces will have the program rolled out once inspection has been completed and buyers identified for the program. Gaupu said the only concern is the sustainability of this program. He is, however, grateful that Prime Minister James Marape is committed to funding this program. Shamed Poriambeb, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the NASFund market report, the kina opened unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank markets. At Bank South Pacific, your kina will buy $0.2775, $0.3532 Australian dollars, 2210 euro and 28.78 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower and copra closed higher. Crude oil is trading higher, palm oil closed lower and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 64.35 points higher. The ASX 200 is trading at 32.08 points lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 30.46 points lower. National EMTV News continues with more after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Air Guinea has announced that it will be increasing flights between Port Moresby and Hong Kong from once to twice weekly, commencing Saturday, 3rd of April 2021. Services will be operated by Air Guinea's Boeing 767 aircraft in partnership with Cathay Pacific Airways under a code share arrangement.
To Air Guinea, flights into Hong Kong started in October last year, operating once a week on Wednesdays and opening opportunities to bring freight and essential passengers traveling to and from Port Moresby. From April 3rd this year, the Wednesday service will be complemented with a new Saturday service. The code share with Cathay Pacific, as well as agreements with Air France, Emirates Airline and Qatar Airways, allows passengers to transfer between flights at Hong Kong from worldwide destinations including mainland China and the rest of Asia. Air Guinea's CEO Bruce Alabaster said Hong Kong is a major global gateway and connecting hub for both passengers and freight, and Hong Kong's home-based airline Cathay Pacific is one of the largest and most respected airlines in Asia. Air Guinea has the ability to increase Hong Kong service to 5 weekly as demand for international travel gradually recovers through next year and beyond. From 3rd April, flight PX008 and CX6898 departs Port Moresby at 1500 hours on Wednesdays and Saturdays, arriving Hong Kong at 1935 local time. In the return direction, flight PX019 and CX6899 departs Hong Kong on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 2045 local time and arriving POM at 5:30 on Thursday and Saturday mornings. Air Guinea continues to operate with strict health and safety measures, including a requirement for pre-departure COVID-19 test, testing of temperatures for all passengers, providing face masks and hand sanitizers to ensure a safe air travel. Shamin Poreambab, National EMTV News.
Trikai Sports.
Welcome to Trikai Sports. The Moresby South Blacks from the Moresby South Rugby Football League are a team that is also looking to bid for a space in the Digital Cup competition in future. The Blacks have a home ground, the new Moresby South Stadium, that has been hosting their competition since its opening in 2020.
Apart from the Motu Koita Lagatoi's bid for a second team from the nation's capital, there is also one from a team in the Moresby South, the Moresby South Blacks. They are the select side for the Confederate trials for the Moresby South Rugby Football League. Apart from representing their affiliate league in the Southern Zone trials, they are looking to bid for a space in the Digital Cup competition in 2022. Bagelo Solian, former Oil Sedge PNG Orchids coach and former Central Dabaris coach as well, is the Blacks coach at the Confederate level and says they are looking to get things in order before they place a bid.
Yeah, look, we've had talks about that for the last couple of years, but we want to get it right before we actually bid. So we will probably do our bid towards the end of the year for next year. Yeah, so yes, we are looking at bidding, but for 2022, yeah. At the moment, we haven't set up our board or anything, but we've definitely indicated that we'll start, and it'll be a start towards heading that. But yes, I'll definitely be part of the team moving forward to make that happen, yes.
The Blacks have a multi-million-dollar stadium opened in 2020 and is a suitable home ground for the competition and the Moresby South Blacks, complete with 2 stands, a clubhouse, a gym and 2 dressing rooms. Bagelo Solian is also the venue manager of the Moresby South Stadium.
It took about a year and a half, give and take the COVID, so probably a bit more than that. during the opening, I was, I think, 4.5 or 5 million, around that figure.
The team has been representing the league in the Southern Zone trials and have a core group of players. They recently took part in a trial match against the Port Moresby Vipers on Sunday.
Yeah, most of the players from our league, the Moresby South League, most of the players are carryover players from last year's and the year before last zone trials. So we try to keep a squad together as possible as we can, but injuries and players that move on. But otherwise, we try to build around a core group of players. But yes, most of the players are from the Moresby South League.
The local member Justin Chachenko has been a staunch supporter of the development of the Moresby South Rugby Football League and has been in the forefront of the league's development.
Acknowledge our patron and member for Moresby South. He's a guy that always gets behind us and makes sure that things happen. We're very fortunate to have him behind us. Because of his support, I'm standing where I am, the facility is where it is, and obviously the event is what it is.
Fidelis Sukina, Trikai Sports.
PNGRL Chairman Sunday Saka yesterday announced the confirmation of Stanley Hondina as the Chief Executive Officer of the Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League. Hondina has been acting in the position following the resignation of former CEO Riata Rao last October.
To announce the appointment of...
After acting in the role of Chief Executive Officer of the Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League since October 2020, Stanley Hondina was finally confirmed yesterday by the PNGRL Chairman Sunday Saka as the new Chief Executive Officer of PNGRL. In a media statement by PNGRL yesterday, Saka said Hondina had performed remarkably well during his 3-month tenure as the acting CEO of PNGRL. Hondina holds a bachelor degree in accounting from the PNG University of Technology and is a fully fledged CPA member, and on Monday, 2nd of November 2020, graduated with a Master's in Business Administration from the University of Papua New Guinea. He is also an associate member of the PNG Institute of Directors. Chairman Saka said Hondina will continue to oversee the role as PNG NRLC manager until a permanent appointment is made by the PNG NRLC board. The chairman added that Hondina is also to oversee the operations of the SPPNG Hunters until a new general manager is appointed by the PNG Hunters board. Hondina was previously the National Rugby League NRLC manager from 2017 to 2020. One of the greatest achievements of Stanley Hondina, amongst many, was the delivery of a successful 2020 Digital Cup season amongst the global COVID-19 pandemic. Fidelis Sukina, Trikai Sports.
And that ends Trikai Sports. There were the details after the break.
Trikai Sports. Trikai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
I'll look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Cloudy periods with patchy rain in Port Moresby, cloudy with a few showers in Daru, Karamad, Alutau, and cloudy with rainy periods in Popondetta. In the Momasu region, cloudy with a few overnight showers in Leh, cloudy with a few showers in Medang, Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, cloudy periods with brief overnight showers in Lorengau, mostly fine weather in Kavieng, brief showers in Kokopo and Rabaul, cloudy with a few showers in Kimbe and a few showers expected in Buka. And in the Highlands region, a few showers overnight, then morning fog across all centres in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's been the news, sport and weather for today, Wednesday, the 17th of February 2021. On behalf of the entire EMTV News team around the country, pleasant viewing, be safe, good night.